All right, so another boundary you must set with men when dating is the type of or the level of intimacy you are willing to entertain. So you know what we talk about, all right? And this can be a serious topic for many of you, is more specifically for those of you who are waiting till marriage or at the very least um, engaging in some level of abstinence for an extended period of time before you're willing to cross that line. And let's be real. In the world of dating today, this is not me saying you should be crossing that line. It's just acknowledging the fact that many people do. Many people expect that to be part of the dating process, right or wrong. That's how many are thinking right now. And as a woman, you got to, again, it always starts with you understanding and being real with yourself about what you are comfortable with, what you are generally okay with, because this is your decision to make, right? As well as being able to communicate in a healthy manner. And I'm going to tell you why I had to use the word healthy, healthy manner, how far you're willing to go with this guy so that there aren't any misunderstandings or expectations on his end that you're not going to fulfill. Now, let me say this. If you are going to be engaging in physical activity, I'm talking about, while in the dating phase, I don't really think that needs to be announced, right? I don't think you have to establish that if you're already open to that. Clearly, that can go with the flow how it is. But I do think that if you recognize that he is crossing or wants to cross certain lines in that physical intimacy that you are unwilling to cross, you got to be willing to talk about that. You got to be willing to state that so he understands. And if he genuinely likes you and is into you, he's going to be respectful of it. He's not going to want to make you feel uncomfortable. He's not going to want to make you feel offended or disrespected in any kind of way. So he'll be willing to accommodate. Now, if he is unwilling to accommodate, either he is just not serious about you like that, he's not into you enough to care about your feelings, or that thing he wants is so important to him, and maybe you two are just not on the same page, out of alignment, and that could be one of your clear signs this isn't going to work. Because let's not kid ourselves. Those desires, if you continue in a relationship with this man and that's not for you, whatever freaky thing he wants to do, right? It's not just going to disappear on his end. And now this is a seed that can grow into weeds and create all kinds of issues in the relationship because there's a disconnect there. I think it's very important for us to have these conversations early on to understand, are we on the same page about the things that we are either into or open to in a relationship when it comes to physical intimacy? Now, let's say you are the woman who is being abstinent, okay? I also do not think you need to simply announce it, right? I don't think that's necessary. I think that when you're dating someone, the focus is, if we don't even know if we have a connection and we really like each other, we don't, like, why are we even having that discussion yet? Like, let's get the foundational stuff out the way. However, though you don't need to announce it, I do think that if it comes up in the natural flow of conversation, talking about intimacy, or he's making moves in that way, right? Then yeah, you got to let it be known. Okay, I think that's the time where, okay, speak on it. Now, remember I said earlier, expressing it in a healthy way. And the reason why I said that is because I have met a lot of women who are abstinent. And I know one who comes to mind right now where when I've met her, she would tell me how whenever she told a man she was being abstinent, and she was specifically waiting till marriage at that time, she said men would run away, right? And it was very discouraging and it was causing a lot of problems for her finding potential people to date. And I explained to her, I said, listen, don't get me wrong. There are some men who are just, they're not going for it. End of story. That's not what they're on, and they don't want to entertain that whatsoever. And I do think how much they like you genuinely as a person is going to play into how willing they might be to try versus, nah, I'm out from the jump. However, I also said to her, when you are letting them know, I don't think you recognize the energy, the spirit in which you're saying it. You're saying it in a way that's expecting for them to take an issue with it. You're saying it in a way that you're expecting them to walk away. And that negativity, that negative result that you're projecting onto the situation is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're creating that environment. And so she was hesitant to believe that. I said, listen, I want you next time to try to be very mindful of when you speak on it, be confident, own it. Don't expect negative. Expect that he will actually honor and respect it. Now, that doesn't mean he will every time, but speak with that kind of energy and spirit. I promise y'all, when she did that, she said it worked. It worked in the sense that she found more men who were not so quick to run away. More men who were willing to be like, okay, I may not be there yet, and I've never tried this, but I'm at least willing to still explore things and respect your position on this. All right. She was making more progress by changing how she was expressing these things. So it's making sure, again, always expressing yourself in that calm, positive, confident manner, not in some negative attitude, just so you know, wagging your finger, whatever, right? None of that attitude when you say it. Just let it be known, and you'd be surprised. But either way, have that conversation so that there aren't any mix-ups and problems. And again, some people are going to be for it, some people won't. And if they're not, so be it. We just keep it moving. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. So, there's a great quote that says, "A lack of boundaries invites a lack of respect." And sometimes it's not an issue of inviting disrespect, but it can create a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of